Today, we delve into one of the most chilling and bizarre true crime stories of modern times. Viewer discretion is advised, as the content may be unsettling for some. This is the disturbing case of Anatoly Moskvin, the man who turned corpses into dolls. Anatoly Moskvin's story is one of the most bizarre and unsettling cases in modern crime history, one that continues to haunt those who hear it. Born in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, in 1966, Moskvin was an esteemed linguist and historian, known for his deep knowledge of Celtic history, folklore, and ancient languages. By all accounts, he was a brilliant scholar, writing numerous books and articles, and speaking multiple languages. But, as with many disturbing tales, Moskvin's impressive academic achievements were hiding a horrifying secret, one that no one could have imagined. In 2011, a series of grave robberies in the Nizhny Novgorod region led to an investigation that would uncover one of the strangest and most macabre crimes in Russia's history. Families visiting the graves of their loved ones had reported disturbing signs: freshly disturbed soil, open coffins, and the unthinkable, missing bodies. For years, authorities struggled to solve the mystery behind these desecrations, while local communities were left heartbroken and terrified. The level of sophistication in the robberies suggested that whoever was responsible knew how to evade capture. Then, one fateful day, police received an anonymous tip that led them to Anatoly Moskvin, a quiet, bookish man living in a modest apartment with his elderly parents. To the outside world, Moskvin seemed like an eccentric but harmless academic. However, when police entered his apartment, they were confronted with a sight that no one could have prepared for. Scattered throughout his home were the mummified bodies of 29 young girls, ranging in age from 3 to 15. But these weren't ordinary mummified corpses. Moskvin had dressed the bodies up in elaborate clothing, sometimes placing them in lifelike positions around his apartment, seated at tables, lying on couches, or placed around the house like macabre dolls. He would use makeup, wigs, and even create wax masks to cover their faces, enhancing their doll-like appearance. To Moskvin, these weren't dead children but his companions, girls he claimed he was trying to rescue from the afterlife. Moskvin had developed a disturbing method to preserve the bodies. After digging up the corpses from their graves, he would dry them out using salt and baking soda, and then carefully wrap them in cloth. His process was so detailed that he often added music boxes inside their rib cages or other strange items in their bodies, giving his dolls an eerie, almost ritualistic quality. In his mind, these creations weren't just lifeless corpses but preserved souls awaiting resurrection. What led Moskvin down this path? His fixation with death and cemeteries began at a very young age. At just 13, he attended the funeral of an 11-year-old girl, an experience that left an indelible mark on him. From that moment, his obsession with death deepened. He later claimed that the girl's spirit had come to him in his dreams, urging him to bring her and others like her back to life. It was this bizarre, almost mystical belief that drove Moskvin to spend years desecrating graves. Throughout his life, Moskvin wandered cemeteries, sometimes sleeping in graves or performing strange rituals. He referred to himself as a necropolist, someone who studies cemeteries. He would write extensively about his experiences, often in articles and journals, sharing his fascination with graveyards. However, this public side of Moskvin's life was only a glimpse into his far more troubling activities. His parents, who lived in the same apartment, claimed they had no idea what their son was doing. They believed the bodies were just large, life-size dolls, perhaps a testament to their own denial or the control Moskvin had over them. Still, many find it hard to believe that his parents were completely unaware, given the sheer number of bodies in the apartment and the unmistakable odor of decay that must have accompanied them. The most chilling aspect of Moskvin's crime is how long he was able to carry it out undetected. For nearly a decade, he maintained his gruesome collection, continuing his life as an academic without raising suspicion. Even more eerie, Moskvin wrote scholarly articles about the very graveyards he was robbing. In some cases, he interacted with the families of the deceased, expressing sympathy for their loss, knowing full well that he had already desecrated their loved ones' graves. When police arrested Moskvin, the community was stunned. Here was a man who was highly respected in his field, someone who had been regarded as a harmless intellectual, revealed to be a grave robber and defiler of young children's bodies. What kind of mind could commit such atrocities, and why? When questioned by police, Moskvin showed no remorse. He explained that he was simply saving the girls, believing that they could eventually be brought back to life. To him, his actions were not criminal, they were compassionate, a bizarre act of mercy. His belief system, however, was rooted in delusion. Diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, Moskvin was declared unfit to stand trial. Instead, he was sentenced to indefinite psychiatric treatment, where he remains to this day. His hospitalization has left many with mixed feelings, relief that he is no longer free, but also frustration that he was never fully held accountable in a criminal court for the suffering he caused. The families of the girls he exhumed have spoken of their continued anguish, knowing their daughters' final resting places were violated. Moskvin's case raises profound questions about mental illness, obsession, and the hidden darkness that can lie beneath even the most benign of facades. How could someone so seemingly intelligent and accomplished live such a double life? How did he evade capture for so long? And, more disturbingly, what drove him to commit such unspeakable acts, believing that he was helping rather than harming? To this day, the case of Anatoly Moskvin remains one of Russia's most disturbing and baffling criminal cases. The shock and horror surrounding his actions continue to reverberate around the world, as the sheer oddity of the case garners both revulsion and morbid fascination. It's unlikely that anyone who hears his story will ever forget it. Moskvin may have faded from the public eye, but the questions his crimes raise about human psychology, mental illness, and the nature of evil linger on. His story serves as a chilling reminder that even the most ordinary-seeming people can harbor terrifying secrets, secrets that sometimes remain hidden until it's far too late. If you found this story as disturbing as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another gripping crime story.